Hello everyone. So I'm here today with Rai, my Dollzone Wing-2, and I'm here with him today because I just needed to be with him today and change his clothes. He's been in these shorts I got from my with my Dollzone Greta full set, and in this halter that I got from Dollmore for a very long time. He's been in this for a very long time, simply because you know while I haven't technically been out of the hobby, I wouldn't call it that. I haven't been focusing very well, and I wasn't focusing on my dolls at all. But I finally got him changed. He looks so pretty today. I love it. I just love him in whites and creams. I love it so much. I need to get him more clothes. Now that he is on the Doll Chateau 70 centimeter body, most of the clothes I got for him is too big in the wrong way. Like this is too big in the right way because he'd wear his sweaters this big. But there's other items I got where I'm like, he wouldn't really wear that too big because it just doesn't look right. He'd probably get that a little more fitted. Of course, if I was a sewing master, which I'm hoping to be someday, I can take some of these clothes in and alter them some sort of way, which I still may try regardless of sewing level. But till then, I would love to find him some more things that were more fitted to this particular body. But we'll see what happens. It's hard to find much in this sort of style for him. It's easier to find this sort of thing than it is this. But anyway, I'm here with him today because I was catching up on BJD videos last night, and I watched this video called I Regret, and it's by Swans, and I'm sure everyone knows who that is, but I will definitely link the video down below. And I watched that video and it broke my heart, and I need to be with Rai because I've been thinking about it all day. Um, because I guess it was just a very personal thing I was feeling at the moment, and I can't, like, I couldn't let it go. So as soon as I got home, it was like, I need to change his clothes and hang with him. I'm gonna take some pictures of him and just have myself a time because I love this guy, and it's been a very uneven journey with him. And I did a whole video about that, but just to revisit briefly, since he's an older Dollzone fella, he is actually discontinued now, unfortunately. Um, and when I got him at the time, Dollzone had recently become a legit company after doing recasts. So that was that first stigma. Also, they were lower priced than other dolls, so that was at the time another stigma. And then also a lot of people think the older Dawson sculpts in particular were ugly. And at the time when I found him, I looked at him and I was like, that is my character, Rai. It is him. I have just seen him. Oh my God. I can't believe it. I didn't think I'd find a doll that looked like Rai ever. And I still haven't found another doll that reminds me of my character Rai at all. Like I have looked because I've had him for a very long time, and there's many more companies around now. And I'm not looking really to upgrade him or change him or anything like that. But I'm curious. I'm like, is there a more fitting doll for Rai out there? Just like I didn't think there'd be one for Elia, and then there was one. Um, but I've looked and I have yet to find one because I don't know. He just is Rai, and I thought that from the very moment I got him, and that's why I bought him. And but at the time, there was a lot of side comments, not necessarily 100% directed at me, but enough that it hurt me, where, my doll is ugly and it's cheap, and why would you ever buy from Dollzone, blah, 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 etc. And I remember how I felt at that time. And when I was watching this video by Swans and how all this negativity was coming at them over face ups, and how, excuse me, they ended up changing the face up on their Baby Apollo, their first ever doll, and hating that face up. And then hating that they ever changed the face up and changing it back. I like, as the story was unfolding, I realized, just like, even though it wasn't over face ups, it was the same sort of feeling of, you're not allowed to have that doll or that doll that way. Please change it for the hobby. And that's how I felt at the time. I felt like, with him, I felt like he wasn't good enough for a hobby. Wasn't good enough in general, and that he would always be judged, and he probably is still judged. I mean, I don't, but I've gotten to this great point where I no longer care. And I'm so glad for it, because at the time I let myself hate him. And I look back on that feeling and I just can't deal with the fact that I felt that. Because he, to me, is so lovely, and I just love looking at him. I love dressing him. I love his wig. I love now his face up. That's been a journey through I believe three face ups, not including his default. One was taken off his face immediately, and one stuck around for a little bit before I realized I don't want any black on his face up at all. So that one had to go. And then this one I'm really, really happy with. I sometimes go back and forth, but I just, in person, I love it. In pictures, it doesn't pick up as well as I want it, but it's a different story. Anyway, though, I remember how I felt about him and how I let myself feel about him, and I'm just glad that feeling is gone. So that's all I wanted to make a video about. Basically, I love this guy. And so this video is about, I love this guy. I love this doll, and I'm so glad he was my first doll. And even though there was a lot of, I guess, trials and tribulations that I let people put me through, I guess, I'm glad to still have him, and I'm glad that I've always had him. He is my baby, and he's very sweet and just so pretty. And I really wish he was still around. I'm so sad that he's discontinued. That means hopefully nothing happens to this guy, because I would just cry forever. I mean, I don't even want to think about it. I'd wanted to get him a spare head before they were completely gone, but unfortunately I missed the cutoff. I couldn't sell enough, and I just didn't have the money. So, boo. But hopefully he stays with me for a very, very long time, and I'm glad he's here, and I'm glad I kept him, and I'm glad that I continued trying to improve him for myself rather than for everyone else. And yeah, that's probably a silly reason just to do a video, but I've been thinking about it all day and I couldn't help myself. So that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to go and start the yarn wig project of doom, and hopefully it goes well. I finally found some 100% acrylic last night in one of my boxes. I knew I had some somewhere, but and last night I really wanted to just go ahead and start the wig, but I had to find the yarn first, and I got real lazy, real lazy, and eventually I found the yarn, but it was like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I am not starting this right now. So it has been found. I'm going to start that, and I'm going to record that progress as it goes, but it's going to be slow going. So that is it for now. Thank you so much if you watched, and I will talk to you shortly, probably either tomorrow or Saturday, as I work on yarn wigs. So yay. Bye.